Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about are supplements actually necessary? So I get this question a lot in my field, are supplements actually necessary for building muscle, burning fat? A lot of people tend to really focus on this subject and they're just confused, and there's so much information out there that it's really difficult to understand if certain supplements are even worth it, or if it's just the media trying to push something on you, and it's a little bit of both. So to answer your question, no, supplements are definitely not necessary to get results. To go a little deeper into that question, there are going to be certain supplements that I would recommend, and then there are going to be certain supplements that I would say there's absolutely really no point of. So let's dive into the less sexy supplements that people really tend to overlook. And these are a few that I recommend. It's going to be a multivitamin, a fish oil, and a protein powder. So those are the three basic supplements that I recommend to my clients. And then if there are a few individuals that looking into their lifestyle, I see that they might need a little bit of something else, I'll definitely add those in. But just general population, those are typically going to be the three supplements that I would recommend. Just to kind of overcap on all supplements, you always want to make sure they're third-party tested. That basically means that there's an outside party looking into that supplement after it's packaged and making sure that what is on the label is actually what's inside the product. So that's really important. Another thing of what you're looking for is the ingredients. So this will vary in different supplements. So we'll start with the multivitamins. Multivitamins, you're basically looking for real ingredients. When you're looking into your multivitamins, you want to look for folate instead of folic acid. That's really important. Folic acid is just the cheaper version of folate. So it's not going to give you the same effect as actual folate. Then you're looking for B12 as, it'll say in parentheses, as methyl. Long word after that. I'm not even going to say it because you're not going to remember it. So look for B12 as methyl, not B12 as cyno, as in CYNO. That again is going to be the cheaper version. So you're looking for methyl. For your fish oil, what you're looking for is at least 400 milligrams of EPA and at least 300 milligrams of DHA. And that is going to be per serving. So what you're looking for as far as your fish oil is a few things. So you want your fish oil to be made from small cold water fish. Small cold water fish, and it should state exactly what fish the fish oil is sourced from. So it should say something like anchovy, mackerel, sardines. Those are all really good sources for fish oil because they do not have a high rate of contamination of mercury or different toxins and heavy metal poisonings. So those are really great sources to look for your fish oil. And you want to make sure that it's saying, or it's not saying, one of the other two that I'm about to mention. So if it says a large fish like tuna, cod, salmon, you definitely don't want to be getting a fish oil from there. Of course, those fish are still healthy, but if you are looking for a concentrated source of the fish oil itself, you want to make sure that it's not going to be a fish that has higher potential of mercury poisoning, heavy metals, things like that. So if it says a larger fish, stay away from that. If it says no fish at all, definitely stay away from that. That means that there's really no telling of what source the fish oil is coming from, and you really don't know how pure it is or what you're really getting. So you definitely want to stay away from something like that. I recommend having a fish oil because fish oil is going to be fantastic for, I call it the end all be all. Honestly, it's great for heart health, brain health, great for joint health, inflammation. Last but not least is protein. There is so much controversy, circling around protein of whether it's even necessary, and so many people will argue, you don't need protein in your, protein powder, I should say, in your diet. And no, I am not a trainer or nutrition coach or fitness expert by any means that forces my clients to take protein, but I am here to tell you the benefits of it. Now, I don't recommend having it, for every single meal or even multiple times throughout the day. I definitely don't want you living off of something that at the end of the day is still a packaged item. So there's no way around it. It's still packaged. The reason why I do like protein powder and why it is a great source of supplements for you is because it's a very convenient way to get in your protein. Again, I'm going to go over what you're actually looking for your protein powders to make sure that you are selecting a pure source and something that's great for you. And you definitely don't need to have a protein in your daily diet in order to get results, but I definitely recommend having a protein supplement because again, it's an easy, convenient way of getting your protein in. At the end of the day, protein is one of our macros that almost 95% of us get short amounts on a daily basis. So having that convenient supply, whether we're on the go or maybe we haven't planned properly or whatever the case may be, really allows us to get in our protein a little bit more easily. So again, I'll never push protein on my clients, but just here to tell you there are benefits. What you're looking for in your protein. Now, there's so many different proteins out there, and how do you know what is best for you? So a vast majority of my clients are really basically looking to lose fat and build muscle, whether it's losing 10 pounds of fat or losing 50 pounds of fat. It's always going to be some combination of losing fat and building muscle, regardless of how much you want it to be. Now, for my clients that are looking to decrease belly fat, I would always recommend them to stay away from a whey protein source. Now, knowing that, I'd rather be enjoying dairy through ice cream or something like that rather than getting it through my protein, right? It just doesn't make sense. So of course, there are benefits of having whey protein. Definitely gets into the muscle cell much quicker, helps you facilitate that muscle growth at a much more rapid pace. 100%, I get that. But there are other proteins that will compare very well to that without the repercussions of bloating or abdominal discomfort or whatever it is. So I usually tell my clients, just try to stay away from the whey protein. It's really not necessary at this day and age. There's so many different fantastic proteins on the market that you really don't need to be having the whey protein anymore. If you're just like, no, Sam, I love whey protein, try to go to an isolate, because with an isolate, it's going to be stripped of the milk fat. There's only about, I think it's about 0.5 grams of the lactose, but it's usually stripped of most of the lactose factors. So if you do have an intolerance to dairy, you're still gonna get that discomfort. But if you don't, and you're just kind of listening to this and you're like, okay, maybe I should step away from the whey, go to an isolate, because I do believe that whey tastes fantastic, but it's just, it's really discomforting on the stomach and can lead to a lot of belly fat. You also have a vegan option and you have a collagen option now, which is really, really hot on the market. So vegan is going to definitely always be grittier in taste just because of what it's coming from. When I say vegan, I definitely mean more of a pea protein, brown rice protein, something of the sort there, maybe hemp seeds. Definitely not a soy protein. I definitely would steer away from that just because of the hormonal issues and all that. So if it is going to be a vegan, know that it is going to be grittier in taste. So that's what you'll be looking for. As far as a collagen protein, in my opinion, the best type of protein on the market. It tastes fantastic. It's very, very smooth. It's good for the hair, skin, and nails. And it's really easy on the digestive system. So that's something that I heavily recommend to my clients, because if you are someone that does enjoy having protein shakes or whatever it is, go for it. I would definitely recommend that for you. Then what you're looking for in your protein is, again, of course, making sure it's third-party tested, because you want to make sure that what is on that label is what's inside. Because a lot of the times they'll actually put, let's say it says 20 grams of protein. If it's not third-party tested, there's really no way of knowing how balanced the blend inside that tub is. What I mean by that is that one scoop could be, 20 grams. The next scoop could be 15 grams. The next scoop could be 25 grams. It's not a concentrated blend, so there's really no way of knowing exactly how much protein you're getting in with something that is not third-party tested. You also want to make sure that you're looking at the ingredients. If this is a supplement that you're taking in on a daily basis to be healthy, then you definitely don't want to be having something that has unhealthy ingredients in it. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather just have a Snickers bar if I'm going to be having unhealthy ingredients, right? So always look for something that has minimal ingredients, should just say the protein itself, You know, sometimes they have gums in there. That's okay, not a big deal. But if you start seeing things like dextrose, anything ending in OSE, try to be aware of that. That can really indicate that there are artificial chemicals, ingredients, so you want to be aware of that. So your 3 supplements that I definitely recommend. A few supplements that are really not necessary at all. First one that comes to mind is pre-workout. Now, again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Sometimes I use pre-workout. I really try to stay away from it. But a big ingredient in most pre-workouts is caffeine. So if you're looking for the boost of pre-workout, just have a cup of coffee, honestly. Because it's going to have far less chemicals or ingredients in it, and you're going to get the same effect. Some pre-workouts on the market will actually have branched chain amino acids in them, which we'll go into next. So those can actually help facilitate slowing down the breakdown process of the muscle. So that's fantastic. But a typical pre-workout is really not a necessary part of your fitness routine. I mean, you could take it or leave it. If you love that stuff, great. You know, I personally don't like feeling like I'm jittery right before I work out. But if that's your style, that's totally fine. Again, not something that you need in order to get results. I really want to make sure I'm clear there. Then you have things like fat burners. Always, always, always stay away from fat burners. You know, if it's going to start chemically speeding up your metabolism and, you know, suppressing your appetite and all these things that fat burners do, one, a lot of them are illegal or they're not working. So you could change your metabolism naturally by converting it to a fat burning metabolism just based on the principles that I teach you. So that, in my opinion, and the repercussions afterwards hormonally are really not worth it. You know, you are damaging your metabolism and your hormones potentially for life. So I would always recommend my clients to just stay away from that stuff. It's so dangerous and there's really no telling what they put in that stuff. So that's something that I really, I'm very adamant on my clients or anybody for that matter, not taking them. And you'll notice that if you have taken them in the past or you know someone that has taken them, they either stopped and they started gaining even more weight back, or they never lost their weight in the first place. So another one on the market that is, you know, definitely, it's great. I don't think it's necessary in order to actually get results is BCAAs. So BCAAs are technically, they're called branched chain amino acids. That's what it that's what it stands for. And so basically what that is, amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Now, maybe you heard this, maybe you don't. I'm really going to give you a basic understanding of what they do and what they are. Basically, what they are doing is they're meant to get into the muscle to start rebuilding the muscle tissue. So also, let me stay away from even saying muscle. It could even be on a cellular level. You can get them through anything, you know, your meats, different types of proteins. So it's not something that's necessary. You could definitely get them in other sources. Now, I will always recommend BCAAs when I have a client who, let's say, hates water, can't get it down for the life of them. And then I'll say, all right, you know what? Put a scoop of BCAAs in there, because then you're getting a little bit more of your amino acids in there. You know, it's definitely working towards rebuilding your muscle tissue or slowing down that catabolic process, that breaking down process. And it makes your water taste a little bit better, so it's easier to get in. So those are a few of my tricks that I tend to, you know, teach my clients. But basically, if you're not taking BCAAs, it doesn't mean that that's the reason as to why you're not getting results. So again, I actually use BCAAs on a daily basis just because I enjoy them. I think they taste great. Hope that was helpful, guys. I will see you on the other side.